Books for adults with lower reading level. I am not the OOP. OOP is you, Natalie Kylene. Books for adults with lower reading level. Originally posted to r, suggest me a book. Thanks to you, Soe Herder, for suggesting this BoRU. Original post January 29, 2022. I haven't read much at all in my life, but it is a deep desire of mine. Due to some learning disabilities differences, reading has always been difficult for me, so I have generally avoided it despite having an interest in it, but I want to try. So I'm looking for some recommendations. One of the only books I've finished in my adulthood was My Side of the Mountain. I really enjoyed the story and I think the reading level was good for me. The length was very digestible. I think I really like wilderness stories, but I'm open to other themes as well. I'd love some help finding some other books to try out. I'm guessing somewhere around middle, high school reading level. Nothing too long. Thanks. Relevant comments. Chat Magique 2. I wonder if you might like the Hatchet series by Gary Paulson. They have that wilderness survival theme. Shantaz. Call of the Wild is really good and manageable for any reading level. Maybe the Harry Potter books also. Have you thought about graphic novels? Oop replied, I've heard Call to the Wild would be good. I'll give it a go. Yes. Graphic novels have been a great alternative for me. Thanks. Overheard 26. Just want to say I think it's great that you're pursuing something that you want to do but is really hard for you. Mad respect. Oop replied, thank you. I really appreciate that. Update 11 months later, December 22, 2022. Hi all. Almost a year ago, I made a post on here asking for some book recommendations that might be good for an adult who struggles with reading. I want to say thank you so much for the tremendous amount of responses I received. They were all so kind and helpful to me. There was a lot of folks who asked if I could circle back to update on how my reading journey is going. So here's the update. I read several books this year. More than I've ever finished in my entire life. One of them I even finished in only a few days. I've dabbled in different styles and stuff to see what I like and what feels manageable. I've had good luck with some memoirs or similar kinds of biographical stories. I've had great luck with Steinbeck, as was recommended in several comments, and have gone for a few of his shorter novels. I've tried reading and listening to books in all the ways that were suggested and have found them all helpful in one way or another. My biggest achievement was reading Cold Mountain by Charles Fraser, a book I have always wanted to read. It took me all damn year, but I read it cover to cover and loved every minute. Fraser's descriptions of the landscapes specifically are some of the most beautiful and aching things I've ever heard. I look forward to enjoying other books of his. I'd love more recommendations for similar books and authors if ya got 'em. I added many of the books suggested to me here to my list, though I haven't gotten to many of them yet. I'm looking forward to diving into them more. I've used the tips and tools suggested here to find books that interest and suit me. There were so many great resources on my original post that were so helpful to me, and I hope others found something helpful in them too. I felt nervous and uncomfortable making that post, and all who responded filled me with such confidence and hope that I could enjoy reading. Thank you so much. TLDR. Thanks to this subreddit, I'm finally enjoying reading. This is a repost sub I am not the OOP. As a lifelong reader, this warms my heart. It doesn't matter what you read as long as you enjoy the story. Books are the best and book gatekeeping is the worst. Enjoy the books you love. In print, as ebooks, or on audio. Just enjoy books. This is a lovely post. I think this is my favorite Reddit post of all time. It gave my all the good, positive vibes. Not all books are for everyone. But there are books out there for everyone. Just gotta find your authors and genres and branch out. Mad respect to this person. They struggled with reading. They were nervous to ask for help. They powered through that. They worked to achieve a goal. And they succeed. This makes my heart happy. I was in remedial classes for reading until 4th grade. My mom was functionally illiterate, so I was never read to. No books in the house, etc. Then I had a student teacher in 4th grade who gave the whole class a brand new book of their own as a gift. I got Anne of Green Gables. And I was done. I read everything I could get my hands on. I ended up with a BA in English. And I can still read an 800-page book in 67 hours. It's the greatest joy in my life. Next to my cats. Aw man, so good. I'm gonna add these to my English Awesome additional language list to give to my coworkers. I've always recommended the Atolia series by Megan Whalen Turner because it's got complex themes with simple, addictive writing. And Matt Riley for guys who think they're too macho to read. It's basically an action movie in a book. This is so heartwarming. I think I should quit Reddit for the day just so I can end on a positive note. What an uplifting BORU. Thanks for posting it, op. Smiley face. As an avid reader, there's nothing wrong with reading kids' books at any age. I always read the same books my kids were reading and enjoyed most of them immensely. This has me choked up. Coming from behind like that is no easy feat, and the sense of accomplishment must feel stellar. So many doors are opened with reading. I really need to find more time for books. As a huge, nerdy bookworm, raised by a teenage dropout with undiagnosed dyslexia, I love to hear things like this. About 7-ish years ago, my mom started reading, having read only one novel in her 55-plus years of life. I loved it. She finally understood how I could lose an entire weekend in a book. I gifted her a Kindle Paperwhite and it changed everything for her. She said the print didn't seem to move around the page like it did on paper, and that she could easily find the definition of a word by just holding her finger on it. Very small vocabulary due to her previous lack of reading. If anyone else happens to suffer from dyslexia without having any tools to deal with it, I recommend trying an e-reader, especially a Paperwhite. Based on my mom's experience, it opened a whole new world for her. I absolutely love My Side of the Mountain, so I'm charmed that it got someone into reading. The way I started thinking of books before remembering this was BORU, and it was way too late. I used to teach reading, and I have so many suggestions at all different reading levels. And heck, I'm a reader at the level that I taught it, and have a PhD, which means I have to be able to read academic texts. And I love sitting down with young adult novels. It's amazing when someone decides to come back to reading. And I am so happy for OOP. Edit. Formatting. I hope someone recommended The Hobbit. Much easier of a read than Lord of the Rings. The most clearly written post of the day, too, and by someone with learning difficulties. This was so wholesome. I'm so happy for OOP. I'm not crying, I'm just cutting a mountain of onions. I immediately got bought of Hatchet too when he said he read My Side of the Mountain. This is beautiful. You can tell there's a change in her comfort and fluency with the second post. I think there's a sense of belonging in the conversation and a care for the words that she's choosing in the second post. That's so nice. What a gem of an update. The hobby subs are truly the best of Reddit.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.